Dorothy Njamanze Foundation has also called for collective effort of all relevant stakeholders in the state towards curbing the increasing cases of sexual and gender-based violence in the state. The founder and executive director of the organization, Dorothy Njamanze, made the call during the Interfaith and Cultural Dialogue on Preventing Sexual and Gender-Based Violence, organized in partnership with Ford Foundation, which took place at Goodale Hotel, Minna. Nstv correspondent completes the report.
Giving an overview of the organization, the founder and executive director Dorothy Njamanze said DNF is a survivor non-profitable organization that provides direct and indirect support services to victims of sexual and gender-based violence with the aim of creating a safer and better society free from violence against women, girls, and other vulnerable groups. She said the project Gatekeeper to Bystanders is sponsored by Ford Foundation with the aim of strengthening the prevention of harmful practices as well as gender-based violence using community engagement. Describing the increasing case of sexual and gender-based violence as alarming, Dorothy Njamanze disclosed that many of the survivors the NGO had assisted in the course of its duty in Nasarawa, Niger, and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, faced harmful practices like forced marriage, rape, breast ironing, among other dehumanizing acts, mostly under the misuse of culture and religion. She explained that leaders of faith and culture hold immense authority over community values, family structure, hence the need to engage them with a view to foster partnership and share best practice among key stakeholders.
Today, we have survivors of these crimes that are prevalent, especially in Niger State here, coming to tell us these things that people feel justified to do, and they have gone through it, how it has affected them, and what they want changed. We also have people who know the Quran and who know the Bible, who are on standby telling us this is what God says about inflicting harm on other people. So if this person is saying this thing you're doing is harming the person, if you say that God, you respect God, why are you continuing to inflict harm on this person, contrary to what God says, but claiming you're doing it to the glory of God? So which God are you particularly talking about, you or the God that we know? We have come to the table together, and a lot of traditional leaders have come out to say they are actually, taking active steps in upholding the dignity of men and women in their community. And this is the important thing. You see, where the communities are safe, Niger State is safe. Where Niger State is safe, Nigeria has a higher chance of being safe. And so I am happy and I am glad that we have leadership by example, of leaders of faith and culture. Perhaps if there were people that did not know that these things were possible, maybe now we have models that we can copy from on what is right and what is wrong.
In their separate remarks, the Director Gender Affairs of the State Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development, Aziza Ilyas Sudaku, the Chief Imam of Minna Emirate Council, Abubakar Sadiq Yahya, alongside the District Head of Gonegi, Shafiu Bello, and the Secretary of Kan Niger State Chapter, Pastor Raphael Opoye, all commended DNF for putting together such an impactful program and assured their commitment to the fight against sexual and gender-based violence.
This program is very important to our traditional institution because most of the problem we used to get is from the traditional institution. When we started our work, before you know it, they intervene, and the justice normally don't come to the victims. So that's why this Dorothy Foundation organizes this workshop to make sure that the traditional rulers are aware of what is happening and they give the women and girls their right.
Program is a well-done program because it matches the teaching of the Holy Quran and the Hadith Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. That's how, as I said earlier, all what is written on the board there just come the same on what is there in the Holy Quran and the Sunnah of Rasulullah. Because in the Quran, Allah has tell us that we have a dignity for women, and we should all respect them. And this issue of gender violence issue is something that Quran has already chased it out from the system. And it's like they just come to help we ulama, to smooth our teachings to our people.
Already on it, by the instruction of our principal, His Royal Highness, Alhaji Dr. Yahya Abubakar, he has given us the marching order. Wherever we come across this kind of gender violence issues, we should tackle it.
One of the core responsibilities, and that is why as a Christian, as a pastor, whenever we have a wedding ceremony, one of the wedding exhortation is that for everyone, that marriage is not what one should go into as animals who have no reasoning sense. So as a pastor, it is our responsibility, and especially myself, to see that we sensitize people. We keep sensitizing people to be speaking and fighting against gender-based violence, because biblically it is not allowed. Anyone that is less privileged in whatsoever aspect you want to look at it, the Bible is completely against it. It says if you allow them to cry unto God, God will fight for them.
The event also featured a panel discussion with key stakeholders. From Goodell, Pamela Duma reporting for Nstv News.